today's workshop is going to be a really quick one. So we're going to talk about focus blocks and like how to get things done, and a strategy that I've implemented in the past. And for those of you who have competing priorities for your time, rather that, here, I'll stop the share because we don't need it. But those of you who have competing priorities for your time, whether you are working full-time or you have project clients and then you also have consulting clients, at any given time, you need to be devoting a percentage of your pie, right, to the growth and expansion of your company. So I talked a lot yesterday about G&E goals, which is growth and expansion, growing, making monumental progress on a consistent basis. And the strategy that I like to use, or at least teach my clients, I don't necessarily use it now because most of what I do is growth and expansion, but the strategy that I like to teach my clients is an hour of power. You guys have probably heard this before. I didn't make this up. But essentially what you would do, first and foremost, does anyone do calendar blocking here? Anyone?
Can you describe what that is?
Calendar blocking? What I live by. Calendar blocking here, let me actually show you guys because we got a small group and maybe that's helping the screen share move much faster. I don't know. But calendar blocking is...
I think I do it, that's why. I'm like, is that what it's called?
Yeah, you probably do it. Here, I'm gonna share my screen. So, oh, Laura's coming. Hi, Laura, are you feeling better? I saw your message come in.
No, but all my notifications kept going off my phone. So I was trying to nap. I took like painkillers and I was trying to nap. And then all these notifications, I'm like, might as well just be up and try this again later.
Okay, well, feel free to turn off your video and just kind of lay there and relax. We're doing a workshop right now anyway. More like a knowledge share more than anything. So what we were talking about is focus blocks and how to, Laura, you were there yesterday, so doing some growth and expansion and how to do that on a regular basis outside of, sometimes we can get really in the weeds of client work or work that makes us money. And the stuff to actually grow your company may not feel like it's the biggest priority that's like, work on me, work on me, work on me. Sometimes we can be very reactive and like chasing all these bunnies and cats instead of actually focusing on a particular thing. And so as you can see, I'm in a lot of calls. The calls is blue. Calendar blocking was the solution that I was trying to work into Hour of Power. So calendar blocking is a tool that I use. It may seem a bit extra, but some of the things are just kind of blocked so that people can book that time on my calendar. Just because I don't want to be booked all day long. But ideally what you're doing is you're setting time aside to do particular things. And typically like a typical week, it usually starts more like this. And then it just kind of fills up because my calendar is open to the world. But so these purple blocks is calendar blocking, right? So during these purple blocks is when in the beginning of the week, when I'm doing my weekly planning, I am I'm looking at what I got to get done and I'm putting it on my calendar to actually get it done. I'm setting time aside to get this thing done. And I'm fully aware what this really helps with doing is being realistic about the time that you have in a day. Because especially if you have a 9-to-5, you don't really have the same amount of time that I have or that Christina has. You have shorter. You got probably this whole, you see, look, the no laptop thing is just a rule. It's just a notification I get on my phone, but you get the idea. It's a more like a notification. I don't really do it. Sometimes I'm still working. But anyways, calendar blocking is just setting time aside for each of these things, right? So for example, one of the things that I love to do in my business is automate and streamline processes. And so I have a block every Friday morning where I just get in creative mode, look at I have a whole list of things and things that continue to grow because I do my retros. Now that you guys have attended that workshop, you know the language. If you haven't, let me know, I can see the recording. But I do my retros every week, so I'm always improving on my processes. It's been identified as something that's important to me, so I block time off every single week to automate and streamline certain processes, depending on what they are. But I have a thing that I work off of. But essentially, you're looking at your week and being proactive about the time you actually have. There's no way, if you were to double book yourself, it'd be pretty obvious, right? So this right here was double booked, but that's because this client didn't show. So this is calendar blocking. So essentially, if you wanted to write blog posts every week, if you wanted to curate all your social media, if you're doing all your social media for the week, you're going to block these sections off on your calendar. I personally love Google Calendar because you can do a lot with it. And I guard these times too. Like if you go try to book time with me, you're not going to be able to book time. Actually, it's also the end of the month. So that's why the monthly planning is there. But I have that reoccurring. So there's no way for monthly planning to fall off of my plate. I literally live by this. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I just come in and my calendar is already there and I work by it. It's that simple. And so what I was wanting to tell you guys for focus blocks was, say you've watched the quarterly planning, or you've done your own quarterly planning, right? And you come up with what your focus is going to be for the quarter. Ideally, what you want to do, and we'll talk about next week, is break those things down into more bite-sized, attainable goals. Laura says, that's what I've been doing. Oh, wait, there's a whole bunch of comments on here. I used to do it weekly, but it was really effective. It wasn't really effective, so I got away from it. Yeah. So what you're talking about, the daily, weekly, or to-do list, I call it a focus sheet. I still do something similar to that, but I do it inside of Trello. But if you weren't, it takes a minute to get used to. Honestly, calendar blocking is one of those things where you have to be really diligent with it and like actually use it. Like you can't just set it and forget it because things change so often. But the thing I love about it is that there's no way to, this is what I just started. You just started doing focus blocks or calendar
blocking.
Yeah, I love it. I promise you. Go ahead. Someone just said something?
With the calendar, it was me, I'm sorry. With the calendar blocking, that's what I've always done, but it's a little bit harder now with the kids doing virtual school and having a toddler. So that's why I say it's not really effective for me now, because even though I block off like certain times for certain things, the kids might end up having extra work, or my daughter might be turned up one day and I'm just not able to get anything done. And that started happening too many days out of the week. So instead of just like trying to set a certain time frame for everything, I just resorted to doing to-do lists. So it's like, as long as I get to this stuff today, I'm
right. And what you may want to do too, so just I'm not saying this may actually work, but just for those who have run into that same thing, is that you're probably being too in, like literally my Trello board used to be connected to my Google Calendar. So every time that I would add something to my Trello, it would go on my calendar. And that was too nitty gritty for me. Because what if so if you notice in the second, so when I'm starting a new week, it just says client work. That's it. So then during weekly planning, I'm putting in what I'm going to be working during those blocks. But maybe you put those times on there. Like I even have personal things on there. You saw evening walk with my dog and cook and clean and all that kind of stuff. I have those things on there because I have to be realistic about the time that's really in a day and what I can commit to. Because what I started to learn is I started to feel very, very overwhelmed. And that's because I was putting too much on myself. And the thing about to-do lists, now I'm not saying don't do them, because I feel like it's a transition. I used to use to-do lists a lot. Actually, if you like to-do lists, there's an app called Todoist. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It notices like natural language. So like you can say, I'm gonna type an example. You can say like, check my email at 3 p.m. Today or something, or tomorrow. And it will literally automatically schedule it. There's a typo in there, but it will literally automatically notice that language and schedule it and send you reminders and all that stuff. It's sweet. And it's just a list. I love it. So if you like to do lists, I used to use that a lot, but now I kind of need more of a high level view for things, because I got to manage my team and everything. But so Kristen, because there's 2 in here, 3 technically. So you just implemented it. So are there any things that you ran into as well?
So I started it because, again, I had like a lot of stuff that I was trying to do, but not really like setting aside the time to be intentional about getting it done. Mm-hmm. And what it has helped me do like this past week is really like remind me that I obligated myself to do this. So I don't always like stop in the very moment, because sometimes I might be doing something else that's overlapping into another activity that I have on my calendar, but at least it's putting it it's set up in a way now that I'm constantly getting the reminders. So I definitely make sure I it's helpful for me because it's always reminding me that I had that to do. And so I know that it's kind of like building the habit now, you know, because I just started using it. And so now I'm like building the habit of making sure that if I am in fact doing something that could run over into something else, that I'm, you know, being diligent about saying, okay, I got to stop this thing because I have this other thing that I have to do too. So I think it's going to help me a lot in the long term because I have time management issues, like some kind of terrible. And it's like the worst part of my day is, you know, I have adult ADD, I think, because I can't stay focused, so it helps me to focus.
Yeah, I would say as far as like focusing, so that's the whole reason we're talking about today is focus blocks. One of the things I would love to implement at some point for us is I attended a workshop called Cave Day. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but essentially it's like it's not a thing that they made up, but it's basically where you go into like a deep mode and get work done, like a completely focused mode. So the problem is not you. You don't really have adult ADD, and neither do you, Laura. What it is the world. The world is demanding our attention at any given moment. We got emails coming in, we got Slack messages, we got text messages, phone calls, we got a million things at any given moment saying, hey, look at me, hey, look at me, hey, look at me. It's not you, it's them. So what you do during this protected time, and these are the focus blocks that I'm talking about, is this is when you turn your phone on do not disturb or airplane mode or whatever you want to do, silent, whatever works for you. Turn off your notifications. Don't be sneaky. Turn those text messages. If you get text messages on your laptop like I do, close that junk. Close everything off. Tell yourself what you're going to complete in that one block of time and get it done. I go the extra step. You guys know me for these. I use time blocks. They work really well. So say I'm doing a focus block and I really need to get something done. The PowerPoint actually. So Nikita was there yesterday too. They heard me say, I whipped this bad boy together. I set this timer twice and that was it. Got it done. Otherwise, it would have took me weeks. How many times have you worked on PowerPoint for like weeks? So you set the timer real quick, you get focused in, don't let anything distract you, turn your phone on, do not disturb, and you get that one, you sit down and do that one thing. Now, how you decide what that one thing is, me personally, for where you are individually in your businesses, you guys are in the building phases of business, I would recommend doing something that's going to push and grow your business further. Whether that is basically a lot of what you guys are already working on. I'm trying to pull up the notes. So whether that is figuring out like your, just set it so for you, Kristen, I would say, sit down for an hour and figure out, you know, the outline, the initial outline of your group coaching, the setup, the format, all the things, just figure it out and be done. Set it and forget it. And then the same thing for you, Christina. If you decide if you're gonna do the coaching or not. If not, then maybe you figure out like maybe you're building outreach templates. I've done that where I have a template that I send to people. That's not too salesy or anything. It sounds really personal, actually. I had something where I would insert it. I recommend doing sales outreach in general for everyone, honestly. It's much easier than what you're trying to do with social media, and much more, you get the feedback quicker. And then for you, Nikita, maybe whatever like marketing campaign you come up with, but whatever it is, you're sitting down and focusing on that one thing, right? Because how many times have you, it even happens to me, even during this meeting, because so the whole workshop was the session where you log into Zoom and you work on one thing. And then I would go and I would need a resource or something in my email. And then I start watching myself like check emails all of a sudden. You know, I'm working on something, but now all of a sudden I'm going through my emails and like checking a few things. So pay attention, because it's not a you thing, but you're getting distracted. Even if you go, oh, I need to actually grab this one thing to work on this. And then you start, oh, this is on Instagram. Oh, this is interesting. So pay attention to your focus habits, set some time boundaries, and block some time off on your calendar, at least 1 hour a week to push your company forward. It could be social media if you want it to be. Yeah. Nikita says, I'm like Dory when it comes to distractions. Yeah, we all are. I pride myself on not being distracted, but then in that workshop, I realized like, holy crap, I may not be distracted like scrolling on Instagram and doing whatever, but for those of you who are doing this full time, or like say you're working 100% for yourself, or even not, how many times have you been working on something and then a friend or family calls you and you just think you got time to have that conversation? You don't. My mom literally calls me all day, every day.
I get fussed at by my mom because I just ignore her phone calls, and then she's like, "Oh, well, I called you and I ain't heard from you all day. You must be busy."
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I am busy.
My mom is the type that when I don't answer, she'll call me like 3, 4, 5 times more. And I'm like, obviously, if I'm not answering, I'm doing something and I can't talk. Like, come on.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to be really direct with my mother and just say, listen, I'm working on something right now. I got to focus on this. But literally today, guys, I can't make this up. Her husband is, I was going to say graduating. He's retiring tomorrow. And she called me today and she's like, can you call Jimmy John's and order 90 subs for the post office? I'm like, you do realize I work, right? Like, just because I don't go into an office doesn't mean I'm not working and I got things to do. I literally had that talk with her today.
No, literally, my mom thinks the exact same way. She'd be like, I just know you're doing nothing all day. I'm like, I'm working, okay? You may not think I'm working, but I'm working.
Oh my gosh, Nikita, I'm so sorry. She said you have to take a minute to talk to mom. I take a lot of minutes, but yeah, I didn't even realize that.
Text her and just be like, can I call you right back? But she'll be like, I guess so. It's so funny. Mom's so funny.
Yeah, they definitely.
I used to brush her off. I'm like, Mom, no, do it yourself. Yeah. So that's why I said you gotta take a minute to talk to mom.
Yeah, I don't want to tell your business, Nikita, but yeah, Nikita.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
She's coming from her mother passed away like a year ago this time.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, almost a year. I swear, I was just telling one of my friends about you. I was like, when she told me that, I literally just stopped in my tracks because I'm like, oh, I'm an empath, guys. I don't know if you guys can see that or feel that or what, but I feel stuff on a whole nother level. Look, my lips quivering. I can't. I feel stuff on a whole nother level. But yes, don't ignore mom, but definitely set boundaries and make sure that you're being focused about what it is you're trying to do. Okay. I literally get so distracted. I went on Instagram to post a story and forgot why I was even on Instagram. Yes, that happens. That happens a lot. Christina, you sure are quiet. You must be like the distraction queen over there. You like, I ain't got no distractions.
Down. No, I'm just playing.
Oh no, I'm listening.
He's probably working on something right now. We're the
no.
Be focused.
I'm listening, Christina.
No, I was just listening to you guys.
I'm just kidding.
I'm always distracted. There's always something to be distracted. A million, just like everybody else. Calls, emails. Mm-hmm. Just like you were saying, like I said, I can't do the coaching thing. I'm always on the phone, either talking with somebody on my team, talking to potential clients, already existing clients. Like, I can't answer emails all day.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you guys just saw my calendar. The bulk of what I'm in is calls. So literally what I was talking to Christina about, what I mentioned about that taxing your mental is real. Like, literally, I can't decide what I want to eat at the end of the day. I literally call, it's a friend of mine that I always call him. I'm like, what am I eating for dinner? And he's like, you need to make decisions for yourself. I'm like, I have nothing left in me. Nothing left to make any decisions. I need you to tell me what I'm going to eat today. It is tough. But so I'm going to give you guys a test project, and it's actually going to kind of double as the challenge this week. So this week, I need you guys to set aside at least a half an hour. Okay, that's all I'm requesting. Half an hour for the next 3 days, starting tomorrow. And the challenge is going to be, you guys are going to hate me, I'm sorry, inbox 0. But I don't expect you to get to 0 in 3 days. Okay? I don't expect you to get to 0. Oh, I'm sorry, Laura. So inbox 0 is a strategy. Oh, well, I guess it's a strategy, but it's essentially I know you're pretty good with email, Laura, but getting your inbox, your email inbox, as close to 0 as possible. So right now, across 3 different inboxes, I got my email up. I got 14 emails. So I'm gonna go ahead.
I literally have a problem with like notifications and badges. So like I check my email and like I do that several times a day. So my inbox is always at 0 pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm here. Every time a notification comes in, I have to open it. I hate notifications.
But is your inbox at 0? Is there stuff in your inbox?
My inbox is at 0.
Your unread is 0, or your inbox is at 0?
My unread is at 0. Oh, so that's
a different
like delete.
That's she mean your inbox like
Let me tell you. Okay, this is what I do.
Okay, but there's like stuff in there that I need.
Okay,
this archive.
Listen, I'm gonna teach you. Okay, so I'm gonna record videos for this challenge. I'm gonna teach you some tips and tricks for Google. Okay, so there's lots of things that you can do. So you guys see, I got all my clients. Well, that's actually my design team, but all my clients are here. Okay, they're all there. They're still scrolling. All of my vendors, they're there. Anything that's trash, I throw it away. I get website notifications that I need sometimes. I can always go back to them. I'm going to teach you different tricks. I bet half of you don't even know what the snooze tool is.
Yep, I do.
Okay. I know you do, Kristen. But I'm going to teach you. You're like, give me all the features. But I'm going to teach you certain tips and tools and how you can start using your inbox efficiently, right? So you guys can see. So ignore this bottom part. This is not an inbox. This is priority filters, right? So this is like with my strategy consulting clients, they get different support levels. And so their emails get flagged to this part where I can answer pretty quickly. But this whole top section is all, I'm gonna go through all 3 inboxes. So this is my main business email. And this is my color addict one. Let me go out of there. 2. But these go somewhere. These just came in today, as you can see. And then this is my personal email. My personal. Okay? So.
Wait, how do you have, is this the Gmail app? Because I'm like, how do you have that tab that way?
This is actually a Mac app that I have downloaded. It is called Kiwi, if I'm not mistaken. Here, I'm going to put it inside of the chat. If you have a Mac.
Oh, I see it. That's Kiwi for Gmail.
Yeah.
I end up having like 53 screens.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, even inside of the, you can quickly filter back through and stuff. But I do like this view, which is why I downloaded the app.
No, but I like that it has like all your emails in one. You can like tab through. I like that. So wait,
there's multiple.
You can do other emails other than Gmail, right? Or is it just for Gmail?
I think I have Outlook for my business account.
But guys, this isn't, so they have so many different versions of this. I would just look up, what did I type in? Because that's why I downloaded it. So look up something like view multiple inboxes in one view or something. I can't remember what I typed in, but there were multiple apps for this. This is just the one that I picked and settled on. I actually had like 4 different ones downloaded that I was testing at the same time. And this is the one that I stuck with, partly because if you guys end up using it, it connects to your drive. It's really easy to open your calendar. So I can open my calendar like in a second. It's going to load really slow because I'm on Zoom's share. But you just click that little thing, you open your calendar. It's just really easy and verbose, and it has all the same functionality as Gmail. So you're not missing anything. There's another one that I used to use that lets you have your Slack channel, your Facebook Messenger, your emails all in one tab. I'm going to try to find that one for you guys because I can look at my iTunes and see the apps that I used to use. That one is cross-platform. I'll try to find that one because it lets you have Slack. It lets you have all the communication. I used to have WhatsApp in there, but then I was like, nah, this is too much. But it looks kind of the same with this top thing at the top. I'm going to make a quick note too. But essentially what I'm going to do is teach you different tips and tricks in Gmail. I'll try to look up the equivalent, Christina, for Outlook. I know they have them. I used to use Outlook when I used to work for corporate. And then what do you use, Nikita? Do you have Gmail too?
I do have Gmail, but I only use Gmail for my personal. That's not what I use for business.
What do you use for business?
I have emails that go to my domain, and I use the Mail app on the Mac.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hate the Mail app.
Yeah. Because I had the same thing. I host through SiteGround, so I had that same thing. But then I was like, you know what? I want G Suite, and it's actually it's $5, and then if you Google, you can actually find a 20% off coupon. So that's what I've been doing, and since I only have my email right now, which I actually just started, it's like $4 a month.
Yeah,
for, like G Suite.
Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive, and it comes with all of the sweet tools, you know. Like, you know, Google Docs and extra storage and all that fun stuff. So it's definitely worth it. But I will show you guys, basically each day I'm going to give you something to try. So can you guys let me know, and this will be kind of be the intro step as well, as just how many emails do you guys all have right now? You can either put in the chat or you can say it out loud. It's up to you.
I think I have like 5 right now, probably 6.
Cheats. That's not 5. And okay, so tell me, for example, if I asked you to look up something in that email outside of like search and stuff, how easy would it be to kind of get those things out?
Fairly easy, because I think one of the first times you spoke, I think I told you about this, how I did like one is my personal, one is like my business but not related to my any of my business, and then I have one for each business, so that's 2, that's 4. And then
that's what I have too. I have that same setup.
I have my old school email, which I pretty much, it's like very miscellaneous. I basically don't even use it. And then I just did Laura Lithgow at laudianaturalis.com instead of laudianaturalis at Gmail. So, but I'm probably going to get rid of the Gmail one soon.
Okay. So how many emails we got? How many are we starting with?
So yeah, I got with that count. Sorry.
You know, you're okay.
On my business one, because I actually use labels and filters and so forth in my inbox to sort things as they come through. So in the inbox, I have like 12 because things are sorted and labeled. But I technically have.
But are you guys all using your inbox still as storage, but you're just labeling things?
That's how I have because I have several aliases for my business. So I have other alias emails that go to the same email account. And so I have it labeled to filter to go into those different labels. So I actually have tons of emails that I have not looked at because they're in those buckets. So
you're doing the automatic filtering. Yeah, so it depends on what it is, but I typically don't use that feature.
So is there, okay, because that's what I've noticed with Gmail, what Kristen is doing, where you can label it. And that to me is annoying because it's in my inbox anyway. And I'm like, well, what's the point of labeling? So
you can skip the inbox though. You just have to set up.
Okay, so there is a way to do that. Okay, Chrissy, I'm going to need you to teach me that.
Yeah, it skips my inbox and goes straight to that label like it does actually hit my inbox. So then I can look at the labels and see which ones have a red dot, and that's when I look to see what messages I have. But I definitely need to clean it up. It's not a joke. It's not a game. I need to clean it up. I need to unsubscribe to some stuff. I just need to clean it up anyway. So
yeah. Anytime that you are, and I'll talk about this as well during the week, it's just going to be a really quick thing, but anytime that I try to pay attention to the things that I'm not even opening and I'm just deleting as soon as they come in. And those are typically the things I'm unsubscribing for.
Right. We should do the unsubscribe challenge first. Because I think that's my biggest problem is just subscribing to things and then not needing it or using it or just not, Some people really overwhelm your inbox. I guess it's part of the reason why I haven't like done email marketing, although I know like it's important, is like I don't want to become one of those people that who just delete my email, but I also don't want it to be so infrequent that they don't know it's there and they don't see it because they're getting 10,000 emails from somebody else. So
well, here's the thing. The reason why people use that strategy to use a bunch of emails is because 9 times out of 10 you aren't their target market. Someone else who has really dropped the ball on their email, who has millions of emails, like my mother probably has, they probably stopped counting. And so someone like her is more there because she won't see every single one. So the idea is that at some point you're going to see me because you got so much coming in. But yeah, we'll talk about that during this week. I'm going to record some videos on them and send them to you guys each morning so that you guys can...
Anybody have a trick to bypass junk mail? Because not really with Gmail. I don't really get junk mail with Gmail, but on my personal email, I get a ton of junk mail. And a lot of the times the emails, it's so weird. Like, for example, I ordered something at Nike the other day, and like some of the Nike emails would go through and then some of the other ones would go into junk. And I'm like, I just don't understand how that happens. So then I will go into my junk mail, tag that as like not junk, and now I'm getting like junk mail to my actual inbox. And I'm like, I don't even know, like, this is so annoying.
I'm not sure. When I ran into certain emails being blocked and stuff automatically or just some funkiness with that, I contacted Google, especially if you have G Suite.
No, but like I said, it doesn't happen on Gmail. Like I've never had any. This is on Outlook, and it's like I said, it's like I don't even know how they do it, because I'm like, I'm just like, I don't understand how you filter this, because there's no reason why some Nike emails about my order are going to junk and some are actually going to my inbox. That doesn't even make sense. I don't know.
Well, it could be just how you classify what's junk or what's spam and what's junk. So like, for example, when you guys are building your email marketing newsletter, try to use as few photos as possible because multiple images can sometimes look like spam. So you'll get flagged and end up going to spam. So it could depend on the content of the email. They're robots, right? They're scanning. It's not people. It's like, oh, this is junk. They're scanning this stuff, and they have made some criteria. It's different per app, whether it's Gmail, Outlook, anything else, and they have their own specific criteria, and they're saying, does it check too many of these boxes? Okay, put it in this folder. It's no way to. The only way you can make it where you always get them is if you add them to your contacts.
Okay, I should probably do that for the.
Yeah, add that whatever. They're usually sending it from the same place, so add that whatever that actual domain is. Add that to your inbox. So 30 minutes a day. Get that on your calendar. We're gonna focus on this challenge. We're gonna whip through real quick the next steps for next week.